Hello, welcome back to the HeForSWE channel. Today we'll be interviewing our dear friend Elise Huff from the Mechanical Engineering Department. So, Elise, I heard that you had an awesome internship at Northrop Grumman. How did you go about getting your internship?
Yeah, I did. Right when I transferred to Cal Poly, I joined SWE right away because I wanted like a network of people. And they encouraged me to go to the national conference because it was going to be in Los Angeles at the conference center.
Oh, really?
Or the convention center, and that was perfect because it was really close by and I wasn't going to have to worry about traffic and whatnot. So I just went there and I confidently went up to the recruiters and just really tried to market myself and sell myself there, and I ended up getting an interview. Next day, had it, and it went extremely well. But it was definitely through the conference because I was able to actually meet the right people to build that network and start that conversation with the person that could actually go about helping me solidify the internship. Yeah. It was definitely through the SWE conference.
So, at Northrop Grumman, what projects did you work on while you were there? Or are you allowed to talk about that? Because I know some of their stuff's a little bit like...
Yeah, I can talk about what I can talk about. The first year I interned with Northrop, I was working in the vehicle engineering section, and I was doing design for the next generation fighter. So I was working on the cockpit design and the instrument layout with a lot of the actual pilots from the Air Force and the Navy that fly the F-22, F-35, and they would come in and fly a physical simulator that I actually did get to fly for an hour.
That's so
and I got paid to fly for an hour. But no, it was really cool because, these people have real life experience in the aircraft, and then they come and sit in your modular cockpit design, and we'd get their feedback and move the instruments around and try to see if there was something more advantageous. So that was one of the things I worked on. This last summer, I was doing structural and thermal analysis on the new modernizations they're doing to the B-2 bomber, which was really awesome because I was up in Palmdale, and they actually have the B-2 bomber there, and it was like in our backyard almost. I could go and look at it on my break. They took us to South Base of Edwards Air Force Base, and we got to watch a test flight and everything. So it was cool because even though I'm sitting in an office and I'm working on, a CAD model of a section of an aircraft, we actually got to go see that aircraft and have it fly, right next door to us, really. So
wow,
there have been some really awesome projects.
Yeah, it really sounds like it. So what would you suggest possibly for a student who wanted to pursue an internship at Northrop Grumman?
So I would definitely, you have to keep your GPA high. But one of the biggest things is marketability. There's a really fine line between boasting about yourself and being confident in your abilities. And I think learning that really early on is extremely helpful because it helps you market yourself. I mean, you're a product to that company, and they know what a Cal Poly Pomona graduate is going to have in their back pocket when they graduate. So they already understand what you're being molded into as an engineer, but they want to know what kind of person are you. So even with nothing in my engineering back pocket, having the ability to market yourself and be confident in what you know and be confident in what you don't know too. You don't want to be arrogant and try to push the limits on like, oh, maybe I could fake it. No, just be honest. Like, I haven't learned that yet, but I have a really strong willingness to learn, and if you give me a chance, I will definitely learn that to the best of my ability. That's a better answer than trying to fake it and then they catch you in it, you know? A lot of people try to go that route, and that shows a lot of character, I think. But marketability is the biggest thing I could say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were your expectations before you interned at Northrop Grumman? Like, what were you expecting really to be doing?
I was extremely intimidated. I totally did not think I was smart enough. And like I said, I try really hard to be confident in myself, but I had no idea what they expected me to know. Am I supposed to know everything that I learned in my classes, or just, the key chapter titles, you know, like what is it I'm really supposed to know? What am I going to work on? I had no idea what I was going to work on my first internship. But I just remember, you know, the biggest thing that my boss always said was like, I don't expect you to know or memorize like almost anything from school other than like problem solving. My boss gave me a super open-ended task. He literally said, oh, I want you to go design the next generation fighter cockpit.
Jeez.
And that was it. I had nothing else. I had no givens at that point. So I had to start thinking about problem solving and like, okay, what givens could I possibly have right here? Like, don't think he expects me to just, you know, generate a brand new thing with no information. So yeah, I think when it came to my expectations, I was extremely nervous. But then when I got there, I was like, you know what? I'm a problem solver. Like, I can figure this out. Like, that's not as bad. Well, the expectations for my second internship were a lot higher. But all of those problem solving skills and, you know, breaking the ice of, you know, those really scary first year expectations had already been shattered. I was already like comfortable there. I already knew that I had resources that I hadn't even met yet that are just down the hallway that I can go and find. And having that in my head really made me a lot more confident to jump into a more technical role. But yeah, the expectations changed a lot from the first summer to the second. But all I can say is like, you're gonna be nervous and it's okay. Like, like you're gonna be nervous. You may have no idea what you're going to work on, but you're going to work on a problem, and we know how to problem solve. So that's really it. Working with people and problem solving, that's what got me through those weird expectations.
Do you have any final advice for a student, say, interested in pursuing an internship at Northrop Grumman or really anywhere else?
I think being polite and persistent and professional. I mean, when you first meet them, you want to be very professional, but you don't want to be a robot. You don't want to be a cog. You want to be polite. You want to be normal. You know, not like, hello, I'm so-and-so. But you really want to be persistent because I've gone to so many career fairs and conferences with people, and they get the professional, you know, they get the polite. They can sell themselves right away. They get the interview, you know, they get the contacts. And then I'll ask them a month later, oh, hey, how's that going? Oh, no, I haven't heard back from them yet. And I'm like, well, are you contacting them?
Yeah,
are you messaging them? Because after I interviewed with Northrop the first time, you know, with none of that experience, just selling the marketable, transferable qualities, I emailed the person I interviewed with and like every other person that I met, all the other companies I talked to, every 2 weeks. You know, thank you so much for interviewing with me. I really love that experience. You know, I'm really excited about this opportunity. Please let me know if there's anything else any more information you need from me to help the process along. I'm really eager about this. You know, all those kind of things where it's like, hey, don't forget me.
Just like poking them.
Yeah, I mean professionally, so you don't want to do it every week. You know, that's why I did it every other week. But if you're getting responses, you know, right away, then you can have a weekly conversation. That'd be great. But if you don't remind them, you know, they meet hundreds of people at tens of, you know, conferences and things around there, and you really don't want to become a resume on a desk somewhere. You want to be the resume on the top of the desk, in the middle, on top of the keyboard, you know? And the only way that that's going to happen is if you're really persistent and you show your eagerness, you show your passion. You're like, this is what I want, you know, I want to work for this company. Honestly, I would try to grab any opportunity that you can have, but you're never going to get that opportunity if, you know, you don't keep the persistence going. So yeah, being professional, being polite, and then being persistent when you're trying to go meet those recruiters. Get their business card. Get their business card. Get their business card. Okay? How are you going to contact them? How are you going to be persistent if you don't know how to contact them? You want to continue the conversation. And that's usually what I say when I ask for the business card. It's like, oh, can I please have your contact? I'd really love to continue this conversation. I understand you're busy, you know? So that shows you respect their situation, but it's like, you're not going to forget who I am, you know? Like, that's the point of getting it. But yeah, keeping that contact up so that you don't get mixed in with everybody else.
All right, well, thank you so much, Elise.
Of course.
That was really, really
Yeah.
helpful for, I'm sure, a great many people.
Hopefully so.
So thank you for watching. We'll catch you again in the next interview.